Naturally, Hinata had no reason to accept the request. Does he seriously expect me to agree with that kind of attitude? With that thought in mind, she couldn't help but ask, why me though? Why? Obviously because we approve of your strength. You are the strongest commander of the Holy Knight Order in generations, the right hand of God, the head knight of the Pope's Imperial Regiment. We truly recognize your strength. In the Western nations, no one can match up against you. I heard that you even managed to square off with Demon Lord Rimuru. With someone as strong as you by our side, we can provoke Demon Lord Rimuru to show his true colors, while also ensuring our personal safety. After praising Hinata at length, Elric expressed his 2 cents confidently. What is this guy on about? Hinata thought to herself. Although Rimuru may seem very chill at times, he was still a real demon lord. Provoking him like that out of blue would be a most foolish act. Moreover, the rumor that they reached a draw was deliberately spread. Hinata couldn't win against Rimuru. If Rimuru were to become seriously enraged, the only person that could possibly stop him would be Illuminus, who was also a demon lord. I suggest you dismiss that thought this instant. That person is really strong. I can't guarantee that I would win if we were to fight again. Seriously, you are being too modest. You don't have to act like some gentle cutesy gal in front of me. Hinata's smile disappeared completely after his comment. Elric's narcissistic remark genuinely annoyed her. While Hinata hadn't exhibited any physical change, the man in charge of protecting Elric suddenly stepped in. This large man stood out from the crowd with his lofty attitude. His name was Reiner, the Knight Commander of the Kingdom of Ingracia. Reiner's reckless attitude had touched Hinata's nerve. Hahaha, Hinata dono, no one will blame you for falling in love with Elric-sama, but now is not the time for that. The prince already has me as his bodyguard, so there's no need to worry. Though, with your help we would be able to ensure absolute safety, so... Hinata didn't have the patience to hear the end of this mockery. I refuse. The Western Holy Church, as well as the Holy Empire of Lobelius, have signed a non-aggression pact with the Tempest Federation. And also, a bit of advice for you, don't piss off Demon Lord Rimuru. What did you say? You dared to give me an order. Neither of them expected her to refuse. Elric and his bodyguards all fell silent upon hearing this. Hinata had no desire to interact with these two any longer. If this had been a reasonable and formal request, Hinata probably couldn't have refused. It would be the right choice for the council to find someone like Hinata who was specialized in dealing with monsters. Since the council had such an important role to play, they would probably file an official request through different branches of the Western Holy Church. Considering the future standing with the Western nations, Hinata couldn't simply reject the matter purely because of her mood. If it had been the case, it would have been a hassle in the future, Hinata thought to herself. Nevertheless, in that case, the detailed conditions would have been negotiated, and Hinata would have managed to refuse any clear hostilities on the grounds that they violated the treaty. Elric and his men wanted to skip that part of the discussion, that's why they came to talk with Hinata directly. But things didn't exactly go in their favor. You will regret this, Hinata dono. Reiner-sama is the High Commander of the Ingracia Knight Order. Are you really planning to be an enemy to him? That's right. For the human race, you cannot allow the Demon Lord to do whatever he pleases. Wouldn't the church want to prevent him from running amok during a council meeting? Their lackeys began to shout, which reassured Hinata in a way. Because she could tell from this, that the whole ordeal was impulsively arranged by a group of people without much consideration. How unfortunate, but personally, I trust Demon Lord Rimuru. So long now. Thankfully she was dealing with idiots here, Hinata thought to herself as she walked away. Hinata had shown the bare minimum level of civility, hopefully it wouldn't develop into a diplomatic issue. Keep in mind that it was not polite to negotiate with Hinata, who had been invited to the council meeting, without informing her in advance. Considering this was the prince of a large nation, Hinata's response, while not perfect, was passable. However, these idiots, are they really going to play some tricks to provoke Rimuru? A sense of unease crossed Hinata's mind. As she just made up her mind to not get involved with noblemen again, she ran into such an ordeal. I didn't join their plan, hopefully they can regain their cool. They would need to mobilize the army in order to deal with the Demon Lord. If they wanted to rely on a smaller number of people, they would need to gather some reputable champions. They wouldn't have the time to prepare for that. Having summoned the Demon Lord to their own domain could have been a wonderful opportunity. But if all they wanted to do was to play along as things progressed, the chances of success for their plan were pretty showing. But perhaps all of this was planned from the start. That seems impossible. However, I should probably be cautious next time. On that closing thought, Hinata felt a sense of distress. I had accepted the invitation from the council to come to the Kingdom of Ingracia. I seem to have been considered as a guest of honor, seeing that they prepared the most luxurious hotel for us. It would probably be fun to take a tour of the capital city that I had missed so much. Benimaru, acting as my bodyguard, didn't dare to be careless. There was also Sai receiving reports from the shadows. Speaking of shadows, I felt pretty lonely without Ranga chilling in my shadow. He needed to find Gopto on occasion. Gopto had been utterly exhausted from his training with Milim. Even though he had recovered at this point, he didn't seem to have time to rest his body, since Milim had told him that he would be examined regularly. To be specific, he would be tested in the form of a mock battle with Carrion. Gopto cried to Ranga before that he would be killed one day if this were to continue. Ranga, he did not know how to deal with Gopto, went away to get him. But his tail was wagging pretty wildly back then. While he did complain a lot about him, Ranga must have really had a soft spot for Gopto. It's great that they were so close. And so, I brought Benimaru and Shuna. Having too many people would be problematic anyway, so having as few companions as possible would instead be better. I wanted to bring Xian, but taking her to a large city like this would be concerning. It was going to be troublesome if she were to behave as she usually did. That's why I ordered her to look after our HQ while training her subordinates. Geld was the commanding officer of the construction project taking place in Milim's new capital and couldn't leave. Diablo was still out there drifting about. He said he was going to find some people as his subordinates. Did things go wrong or something? As for me, I'd managed to create the containers that I promised him. I hoped to get it done before he returns, so he could take his time coming back. But to be honest, Diablo would probably get back the moment I called him. I didn't have any urgent errands to run, so it wouldn't hurt if I just allowed him to do what he wanted. Momiji had taken Hakiru to visit the hidden Tengu village. Gabble and Midli went to visit the city of the Forgotten Dragon. They heard that it was a habitat for wyverns, so they decided to tame some. Gabble had always wanted to improve the abilities of the Hiryu, and as part of that plan, he apparently considered incorporating wyverns to create an airborne cavalry. He has spent countless days researching lately, making it easy to forget that he was also an outstanding warrior trusted by his subordinates. Hopefully his test would go well. I was looking forward to the results. I'd reward him once he succeeded. Just like that, my lieutenants had been hard at work. This was why only the three of us were visiting Ingracia. We would be meeting up with Sai once we arrived. The first place we visited was the clothing store. Just like in modern Japan, there were all sorts of clothes on display inside glass cabinets, and some passers-by viewed the items as they walked past. It was a testament to how urban the capital of Ingracia was. These windows were all insanely expensive. Despite glasswares being commonplace on the market, buying a single glass pane of this size would set you back as much as a rundown house. And given how the stores used them for their displays, it was a clear sign that their businesses were very profitable. This was what Meyer Miles taught me, though I could easily confirm such an idea from the number of customers alone. By the way, our nation also adopted window displays. After I told everyone what I saw in the kingdom of Ingracia, Shuna and the other female members begged me to import them. I couldn't come up with a reason to refuse them, so I talked to Mildo and had him handle the production of the glass. With the amazing assistance from Wisdom King Raphael Sensei, the production of the display windows came into fruition smoothly. Putting that aside, the reason why we came here first was due to Shuna's demands. Propped up in the window displays were the latest fashion trends. She was observing them with great interest. They truly were gorgeous. We perused all kinds of shops and found many clothes with special designs that our nation didn't have. The clothes made by Shuna and the others were mostly based on my personal memories. But the place here was full of clothes designed by the artisans themselves. The items all had their own charms. There were enough to have completely mesmerized Shuna. I'm not gonna be defeated like this, I will refine my skill even more. Shuna muttered, filled with determination. I'll be counting on you in the future. Then, everyone, please help yourself to any clothes of your liking. I'll pay. Really. I can choose as well. I'm fine with my outfit. Don't be so formal now. I haven't been paying you guys any salary. At least allow me to treat you in times like this. As a token of appreciation for the care they had given me every day, I decided to buy them some clothes. Even though we had specially prepared suits for tomorrow's meeting, Benimaru and Sai would still be wearing their combat outfits. Adventurers would be on site during the meeting as well, so they couldn't really be blamed for their attire. But their outfits were still too eye-catching for wandering in the street. Shuna was also wearing her Meiko outfit, to which I had no issue if she were to have another pretty casual outfit. Which was why I told everyone to pick their clothes. Benimaru and Sai picked 2 sets of tailor-made jackets and shirts, with skinny jeans to go along with it. Very nice. It's a great fit for their style. On the other hand, Shuna, she picked a soft white pants skirt with an icy blue knitted vest. How cute, it suited her perfectly. This looks great, it suits you perfectly, Shuna. Thank you for your compliment. I'm so happy, Rimuru-sama. Seriously, while her Meiko outfit was amazing, this type of casual outfit looked great as well. It was rare to see her dressed this way, so it was very refreshing. This was a rare opportunity, so I had her choose a couple different outfits and bought all of them. Surely, she would be able to tailor more clothes based on these outfits. I also chose a pale blue jumpsuit as a gift for Sean. That gal looked like an ice-cold beauty from the outside. I'm sure she will be able to wear this outfit to its fullest. She will definitely be overjoyed. Will she now? Then I'm happy as well. Yes, definitely. Surely, it would be the case if even Shuna said so. You two look great in your outfits as well, let's buy all of them. Don't have any more words to spare on us. Indeed. Benimaru and Sae seemed to complain, but I ignored them. Are you two implying that you want to choose more? Their tone gave the impression that they were completely disinterested, yet they still scoured the selection of clothes with great enthusiasm. Handsome people look good in any clothes, so there's really no need for you guys to worry. I, on the other hand, came to a quick decision. I couldn't tell the difference between good and bad clothes, no matter how much I worried about it, so I asked the staff of the shop to help pick out clothes for me. Their choices would be undoubtedly reliable. And so, we each picked out our clothes. The size measurements were done on the spot, and we changed into our new clothes immediately. Shuna had a big smile on her face as she held the bag of clothes I bought her like a treasure. Unlike my secretary named Sean, Shuna always worked very hard. To see this different side of her did bring a smile to my face. Benimaru and Sae also seemed happy after changing into their new clothes.